Hello, everybody. Welcome to inventory part 4. So today we're going to kind of be talking about the theory behind how we go through and record inventory purchase transactions, the initial purchase of them, and then also with inventory return, basically purchase returns and allowances. So let's talk about this. So the recording of inventory, the cost of that inventory is really what it takes to get that inventory ready for sale. Again, we are a reseller, we're buying and reselling. So we're going to talk about the inventory we're buying. So what goes into inventory? It's going to be the inventory purchase, any type of inbound shipping cost. So this is going to sometimes be referred to as freight in, storage costs of the inventory, taxes. If I pay sales taxes on something, however, if I'm a reseller, I may be able to be exempt from those if I have the appropriate documentation with my state, and then also any type of import or customs duties. So let's just kind of take a look at this real quick. So right over here, when it comes to inventory, right, inventory is an asset. I'm going to increase that asset with a debit and then decrease it with a credit. So what goes into inventory? Again, let's take a look at this over here. So we've got purchase, any kind of freight in, and this is inbound shipping costs. Now, the outbound shipping cost is something referred to as freight out, and that is going to be a selling expense. These costs here are being capitalized, or we're including them in our inventory. So any kind of type of inventory storage costs, any kind of taxes or duties, or any other kind of import fee. So all of these types of items we're going to be including over here in terms of adding these to our inventory costs. Now, what about what will reduce our inventory cost? Well, the first thing that we're going to go through and see is that when we sell inventory, we're going to have to credit inventory, but we're not there yet. We're going to debit cost of goods sold and we're going to credit inventory, but we're not quite there yet. But let's go ahead and look at what will reduce our inventory cost. We're going to have purchase allowances, purchase returns, and purchase discounts. Let's go through each one of those. So we've got a purchase allowance or purchase return. Let's start with that one first. What is a purchase return? A purchase return is we are physically giving the goods back to the seller. So the inventory is physically coming off my books. I show that reduction to my inventory by showing it as a credit. I'll go through the other side of it, which is generally going to be a debit to accounts payable. We'll do that on the next video. So I'm crediting purchase returns. I'm also going to be crediting purchase allowances. What is a purchase allowance? The seller doesn't want the inventory back. So they say to you, well, hey, Bennett, you can take off 25% off of the amount that you owe me if you decide to keep it. That is an example of a purchase allowance. The seller is giving us an allowance, an amount of money that we don't have to pay. We're going to show that as a credit to the inventory account. The next one over here is going to be any type of purchase discounts. Now, you may have seen me in the previous video where I talked about purchase discounts loss, and we use like the whole like net amount of recording it. I don't do that. What I'm going to do is when I take a discount for the purchase amount, what I'm going to go through and do is I'm going to credit inventory for the purchase discount. So that purchase discount, this is where it's going to show up in inventory. When we look at a real live example, it's going to make a little bit more sense. So, but again, this is how we go through and record the different items as it relates to inventory purchases. I'm going to be back in a moment and we'll look at a real live example. It'll be exciting, I promise you. And again, I want to thank you for liking and subscribing. Please leave any kind of questions you might have below. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day.